This is MC Reggie Fresh from the MC Reggie Fresh Morning Show. And today, folks, we got Brother Bernard Gregory Cherry. He's in the building. You can't not miss this exclusive interview. It's just phenomenal. This today interview is really for the Eastern Stars, the Masons, and the whole Divine Nine. Anybody can still benefit from this, but this is why I'm doing it. With that said, I'm about to bring on Brother Bernard Cherry. All right, Brother Bernard, I want you to tell us a little bit about yourself.
Thank you, Brother Reggie. But let me say this first. It's a privilege to be on your show. I enjoyed many of your past morning shows with professionals that are without regret making a difference in the lives of their community. And I've seen your passion, your ambition, the persona of wanting this world to be a better place. And I do think, Brother Reggie, that the more people that have that same mindset, the more change collectively we'll be able to have in this world. So it is a pleasure to be on your show.
Thanks, Brother Bernard. Appreciate it, brother.
My name is Bernard Gregory. I am the father of 3 sons tech team. Recently, Brother Reggie, we were featured in Black Enterprise, Black News, Telemundo, Texas Metro News, and a host of others. We like to call ourselves tech creators. And one of the main reasons why we created technology is not necessarily for ourselves, but to educate those who have no clue that technology is not only our future, but it's our present. And if we miss this opportunity now, the future of our next generation will become extinct. So what we do is we look at the technology that's out there, right? And we say, how can we build this technology and package it in a way where ownership belongs to all communities?
Basically, sisters and brothers, what he's saying is we got all the numbers worldwide. There's no way that we should not be owning no banks, no hospitals, all kinds of buildings, schools, hotels, with all the brothers and sisters worldwide. Think about that, sisters and brothers. All you alphas, kappas, AKAs, sigmas, Qs. I mean, the Divine Nine, the Stars, the Masons. We worldwide, folks, sisters and brothers. There's no way we couldn't come together with this platform and let everybody eat. You see, if you don't own nothing, sisters and brothers, you can't control nothing. But we own this platform along with the community that joins us. Think about that. You can't control. If you don't own nothing, you can't control nothing. We all got, there's people out here. I'm not saying nobody owns their own business or nothing. You got people, they got salons, barbershops, construction companies, truck driving companies. Yeah, I get that. That's great. But what I'm talking about, like I said earlier, we need to own banks, you know what I'm saying? Credit unions, land, properties, real estate, all that good stuff. Okay, you can continue, Brother Bernard.
Well, I look at it like this. Some will, and some will not, and that's okay. But we're in a time now, Brother Reggie, when it comes to accountability both ways. This means the people as well as the establishment. But we're so smart and judgmental and programmed that we're getting in our own way. And we're programmed to only think of self and what we want to do to be successful as an individual versus a group, not understanding that the likelihood of that happening is very slim. as possible. And we're trying to figure out why is it happening for some and not for everyone else.
Exactly. Basically, folks, what we saying is, when you join these organizations, what was our main slogan? I am my brother's keeper. I am my sister's keeper. Well, let's do that. Think about it. I want you to say it to yourself, say it out loud, and then think about it. Is that what you doing? I know sometimes brothers and sisters can disagree and agree on different things, but far as you don't like that person and you don't want to deal with that person or that brother or that sister, is ridiculous and it's pathetic, and I hate that kind of stuff. So brothers and sisters, wake up, smell the coffee, and let's come together as one. All right, Brother Bernard.
And I think that's because we're not understanding that that's a part of the data control. And at any given time, we start to feel upset. We start to feel frustrated. Or who he thinks he is. Or who she thinks she is. We begin to become impatient and divided and not even aware as to why our feelings just immediately, without warning, our reasons change. So we try to make sense of it. So what we can do, we can make sense of it and removes ourselves from this programming. If this means stopping for 20 minutes just to hear a plan of action that has never been introduced and to share that plan of action. First, again, we're holding both parties accountable, both ways.
I need you to repeat that same thing again.
This means stopping for 20 minutes just to hear a plan of action that's never been introduced. We're holding each family, person, entity, business, organization, employer, employee, student, child, teen, young adult, elderly, ministry, corporation, politician, police department, parties. What I mean by parties, red and blue, business owners, everyone accountable. So that means we will show we can use technology to create affordable housing for every living soul. Don't you know that during the COVID, there was $1.6 trillion that was given to the people by the parties monthly to take share, that was given.
Wow. So basically, sisters and brothers, what we trying to tell y'all is, when you on Facebook and all that kind of stuff, sharing and posting up pictures and videos, and you ain't getting paid for it, it don't make sense. YouTube give you a portion. They're not giving you a whole lot of money when all you YouTubers out there. And notice they can always cut you off when they want to. They got all your data, all your information. We're gonna talk about that in a minute. But what I'm telling y'all is, sisters and brothers, you need to come together and get on this platform made just for us. I mean, DJs. I'm a DJ. How many times have you got on there and played some music, especially during the pandemic? You got cut off. Well, on this platform, being the owners, again, if you don't own nothing, you can't control it. We can do whatever we want to. You ain't got to worry about getting shut off. I mean, just think, sisters and brothers, when we come together and have events, you can have events and everything on this platform. Zoom meetings, you ain't got to worry about nobody cutting in on it, because it's going to be very private. And up to about 1 million people can get on this at one time. You know what I'm saying? You can have a show that you couldn't go to and somebody record it. They can put it on this and you can look at it without getting cut off. Do y'all understand what I'm saying? Now, Brother Bernard, you can continue on.
And that $1.6 trillion took care of our housing and food needs for over a year. Think about that for a second. 1.6 trillion. Now, don't the Nubian entities make up? Well, if they tell you 1.7 trillion, it means it's probably more than that. So I'm going to say 1.9. Did you know that we make up $1.9 trillion of the economy yearly? And technology platforms profits in the trillions. So let's just put everything on the table, all the cards on the table. And let's use common sense, if just for a second, as a whole, collectively. Common sense without an economic advisor. So you don't even need to know math on this. If technology profited trillions, collectively, and the government gave away 1.6 trillion, collectively, to millions, and each year, the Nubian entity spends over 1.6 trillions outside their communities. What does that suggest without an economic advisor? Oh my God. Think about that. You gave us back what we spend year after year for 1 year, and it took care of all the Americans who was going through. And that was millions. So what we spend each and every year, it's able to take care of the whole country. Pay their food, pay their housing, pay their car notes, everything. Sustainability, right? So do you need an economic advisor to share that with you? So this suggests that we can use technology to distribute our own checks to those who cannot and still have unlimited resources available.
Yeah, Brother Bernard, that's right, man. And again, like I was saying earlier, man, it'll be great if we all can get all them buildings, houses, properties, banks, all that kind of good stuff we can own for our own self. Yeah, I know it's possible. I know it's possible. What do you think about that, Brother Bernard?
Yeah, Brother Reggie, that's easily achievable. We can have our own buildings, our own hotels, our own affordable housing. With technology ownership, this is removing the impossibilities because now the system doesn't have control over the technology realm. It has control over the physical, whether dealing with housing, whether dealing with cars, transportation. It's already controlled all that. Now what it's trying to do is control everything in the virtual world. But the virtual is unlimited because anyone can own it if they're thinking from that perspective. So with the right minds, we can share how we can afford our own buildings, our own hotels, using this technology. Consider this extra revenue, right? And consider each large business owner, frat, soror, investing in the same amount monthly of this technology of extra resources. Is creating their own buildings, is buying the land, right? It reprograms us to think different and show the younger generation that everything is possible with unity. So what we do is we begin to change the dynamics of what democracy, what unity is, by only focusing on the things that we agree on versus disagree. When you're in a room and you got two people that disagree, they're never going to change their minds, so they're going to leave that room in disagreement. So what will be accomplished? But if we can just put the things that matters on the table and we use these resources to help communities, it's crazy what we're able to do, but we got to start investing in our own technology. Otherwise, everything it is that we're doing alone. We're doing individual. And again, that's a part of the agenda, is to divide. Divide and conquer. If I can divide you, then I'm going to win. But if you come together, agreeing only on the things that you agree upon, with enough resources, you're able to do what it is that you need to do. Only thing we need is for these organizations to understand the power of technology, and that we all can eat. And it really starts with only a few, because once you see the results of a few, then the others have no choice but to say, oh my God, what is it that they're doing over there? We're just owning our own technology. So anybody who have 20K or more members, this is for you within your organizations, because we know that your organization do not mind supporting a platform that is now owned by you, because they know, hopefully, they know that once you have this technology, that you're going to share with them what you're doing with the technology. It's not up to me what you do with your cash flow, but we are sharing what we're going to do with ours. And if we can do that together, it's unlimited again, what we're able to do.
Okay, Brother Bernard. Now, man, I want you, if I got a question to ask you. So, for instance, say that, a certain lodge had an event, like an all-white or all-black party, a gala or whatever, and other lodges want to see it, or anybody else want to see it far as in the Masonic world. How can we show that video? Is it possible where you can show the video, somebody can record it, and then, get access to other members to watch it, and they can donate or pay for it or however, so it could be money pushed back into the lodge of that particular lodge that was doing the event?
Yes, most definitely. You can definitely donate it to your lodge. Not only that, but it's various ways it can be seen. You can live stream it, pay-per-view. You can live stream and pay-per-view at a later date, which means you record the video, you upload the video, and then you can pay for them to look at the video at a later date. And you can also live stream it for free and have your members donate freely, because you may have, let's say that you charge $5. Well, if you do it freely, you may have some who want to donate $100.
Right.
So you're not putting a restriction, on the amount it is that you're charging. So we give that control to the owner. We just maintain the site, we update, provide 24/7 customer service to those who may have questions. So it's always good to make sure that there's somebody that's there available. So we're not there by phone call, we're there via chat. And there's what you call a queue. So you may have 100 people that's calling all at the same time. There's a queue. You leave a message, and we're looking at this chat on the back end, and we see a queue. We just answer the questions point by point. So whether that's by email, whether that's by phone message, whatever message you leave, that's how we're going to respond back to you. And that's when you're not able to reach us. So we readily respond to the next queue to meet your service needs. Our objective is to use this same system to create sound and engineer text, to teach financial literacy, communication classes of all types, coding applications, well-building, life and behavior classes, relationship classes, podcasting, live streaming, building servers, just to name a few. So it's unlimited what we're able to do when we put our minds together collectively as one unit when it comes to developing lives.
You're absolutely right, Brother Bernard. Now, sisters and brothers, check this out. We can do all kinds of things. I mean, you can have talent shows for the lodge. I mean, all this. And see, the great thing about this is it ain't gonna be on YouTube. See, most of the time when people miss something like a pay-per-view or anything like that, the next day it's on YouTube. But with this, it ain't. So in other words, whatever we got going on, what kind of event that you throwing or having, you won't never get to see it unless you pay for that. You gotta buy like a pay-per-view type of thing. And only way you're gonna see it again unless you buy it. Or you with the person that bought it at their house looking at the same time. So it's very great. So, and everybody I got ideas already, because my first one is going to be the battle of the DJs. I'm doing the battle of the DJs. Sororities, the Divine Nine, y'all can do step shows. I mean, all kinds of ways to help the community and everybody eat. Just think about that. Plus, we also can do door prizes, giveaways. You can do whatever you want to. It's you own it. So you can pretty much do what you want to. This is very, 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 very phenomenal. And all you got to do, folks, is do it, sisters and brothers, and believe that it can happen.
Reggie, we believe in, and it's a term that we've all heard, and though we've heard it, we've never truly seen it. And that term is transparency. This means, as a owner of your own technology, you have access to the back end. You see how many members are there. You see the new members registering. You see all the members. You see what amount that goes to you weekly. I know when people talk about the election, and it's been decades, decades after decades, we've seen a word used called transparency. But I've never still have seen transparency yet. But by us giving you access to the back end, you're able to see how many members are registering. Let's say you have 300K members, right? And 30% of that $5.99 monthly goes to you. That's what, 89K, 90K monthly. Well, if it's 89, we'll give you 90. At $19.99, that's 300K, $299 monthly. Well, we'll give you 300K monthly. We just want you to now get an idea of the power of technology and data control. Maybe this will give you a little knowledge of what these platforms are making daily versus monthly. And we have to think of the possibility versus being satisfied with the crumbs. So we got packages just ranging from $5.95 a month membership to $19.99, and then there are packages that are more, and that just depends upon those who want to brand their business to your organization. Then they may not be members, so it definitely increased the memberships as well. But I want you to think about, for a moment, Reg, I want you to think about Twitter, right? Think about where you can chat in real time, because this platform allows us to be able to chat in real time. You can befriend all the members. You can now have access to their contact information. You can save their contact information with all the members. You can share their business via social media, all platforms, with just a click of a button, with just a link. You can create forms. You can create virtual business cards with unlimited informational videos, web contacts, QR codes that you want to share on social media, so when they click it, your virtual card pops up on their mobile phone. I mean, it's unlimited. And again, we're sharing all your social media contacts platforms on that one card. So now your business and organization is branded to millions weekly just by your members alone with the click of a button. So now you got new members who wants to know more about your organization, because I think it's very important. Whether you do it with your resources, we're going to be giving away weekly contests. As a tax write-off, you're making profit. You gotta use that money wisely. So we want to give it back to the people. $1,000 a week giveaway, $2,000 a week giveaway, gas giveaway for the year. Pay your car note for the year. Pay your car note for the month. Pay your house note for the month. That's what we are doing with our profit. YouTube would never tell you because it's none of your business, right? It's not our business. For them, Twitter or whatever, to make these billions of dollars and say this is what we're doing our profit. But when you have an organization that says I'm going to pour it back into the community because we want as many people who needs these resources to have these resources available, because that's the only way that we're able to reach our people. And if they know that they can go to these platforms and they know in order for them to win these prize giveaways, they got to be members. Now you're having people that are joining the club because they want to win. Not only win, but they're going to find out a little bit more about the organization. So now your organization has been branded by literally millions a week. Do you know how much resources that advertising companies will pay now to be on your platform? And that's just an addition to the 89K or the 300K that you're making for your organizations or your operation costs each and every month. This is what we are providing, Brother Reggie.
Wow. Sisters and brothers, I'm telling you, it can't get no better than this. Now, Brother Bernard, I want you to, let's talk a little bit about how important the data is and the privacy or whatever. Give us some information about data.
We're being controlled by the very emotions that these platforms created. They need that data. They need our data to put into their system. Not only giving them our data, but also it's a form of giving them our souls. Not even realizing it. And those who do not understand the agenda are normally the rich, the actors, artists, athletes, religious entities. You got your sheeps, you got your workaholics. Because they're too busy to research, are able to comprehend. And some are being paid so well to keep us distracted and focus on entertainment versus the system. So we know that something is wrong. We just can't put a finger on it. And it's because we don't understand technology. And for those that do, it's like the 21st century Noah's Ark story. Only the rain is technology. But who will listen? It's about the rain. We're building this ship. We're building this technology for everyone to be able to have ownership. Come and get this technology. No, we're okay with the technology that's out there. So we tend to follow anyone who can speak the best, but that's only learned behavior. And those who cannot handle the programming are easily committing suicide. You see individuals committing suicide on social media. That's data control. All of that is a part of data control. And that controls any entity out there, especially those who feel like they can't be controlled. And to us, data control to geeks, it's just another term, means mind control. What's the quickest way to get rid of your data, your mind? To program it to do something else that it wasn't intended on doing. To put up programs that are meant to program your way of thinking, to change your way of thinking. I want you to think about when people say, well, data collection. How do they get your data? We worked hard all of our earthly years to create our data. That's the relationships that we've established, people that we know. And we give it away freely to these platforms. I want you to try to remember when you created your first Gmail account. or second or third. And it asks for all your contacts. And if you don't give them your contacts, you don't have a Gmail account, right? But once you give them all of your data that you worked hard for, you're not getting paid a penny, but they're getting paid billions, and they're selling your data. Brother Reggie, they're selling our data.
Wow.
Everything that we worked hard for, they're selling. And we have to get permission to get a Gmail account from them by giving them all of the data we worked hard for.
So basically, sisters and brothers, you know how you go and fill out an application to get a job, and they got all your information, and they still might not call you back. So in other words, you sitting around waiting for them to call you if they hired you or not, but yet and still, whether they call you or not, your information is still in their possession. It's ridiculous. So that's why I normally tell a person in a minute, I don't waste ink pen. Are you hiring? When can I start? So I ain't feeling that. No, I don't like wasting ink. That's what my motto. And people thought I was crazy. But my thing is, I know you got to get a little information, but at the end of the day, I'm not giving you no information if you're not going to hire me. And I might not have been qualified for the job, but at the end of the day, you got to give me something. I mean, if I got to start 2 days, give me a chance. If you don't like what I do, if I don't work, if you don't like the way I work, then you can get rid of me. But you're not going to have my information in your possession, and you're not going to hire me. I just don't do that. But anyway, that's very important about data. Now, Brother Bernard, let's talk about privacy, man. Why is it so important that we need our privacy?
I mean, there's no privacy whatsoever. So anytime you leave a message that the technology company itself or the creator has created, they have access to your message or videos. You ever see on some of these platforms, you can leave a chat and then it'll text you your chat, and well, that means they have access to that same information. So we created our platforms where you are the only one that have control of your information. We decoded it to where we don't have access to your video. When you finish doing your meeting, you can download your video, and you can upload that video, edit that video, or you want to upload it to YouTube or YouTube, you're able to do that. And keep in mind that when you have these important meetings or plans of actions, there's a strong possibility that if it's something not of the status quo, that you have other ears that may be listening. So you don't have the privacy. But with ours, you have the privacy that you're paying for. Your secret is safe with your guest. And if you're conducting a meeting and you're having, well, let's say you don't have a good internet connection, you probably will encounter some skipping audio. And if you're using mobile, or if you're traveling in an area that does not have good internet, you may encounter some issues as well. So you always need great or good Wi-Fi area, or good Wi-Fi in your home, or wherever you're using your meetings, you need good Wi-Fi. So you may want to have someone, if you do not have good Wi-Fi, you may want to have someone who have good internet to host your conference. This allows you to come back in. Let's say that you had to leave because of the internet. This allow you to be able to come back in without giving the same people the same code so that they can log back into your meetings and start all over. And then there's also the PC. You can have issues with your PC, your system. And you may need to update your system as well. Keep your system updated. And last, there could be issues from the company itself. Have you ever been having a conversation that was so deep and all of a sudden you're getting interrupted? Well, you need a safer connection and platform, because there's ears that's listening that may not like what is being discussed. Plain and simple. That's what I mean by they have access to your emails, they have access to your videos, they have access to your messages, they have access to any platform it is that you're listening on. They have access to that information. It's not private. So if we create technology to where it's privacy, the data it is that they're receiving will almost be an empty shell. That's what we mean when we say it's owned by community. It's controlled by community. True democracy.
All right, Brother Bernard, now we're going to talk about the numbers and why it's important for us to have our own technology and own it.
Yeah, it's easy to say. Say it again when you hear the numbers, so I get it. Yes, Brother Reggie, I will say it again. Those who understand investment understands the power of resources. And we already know that investors that are interested may come to you and say, I will give you $100 million for 90% of this 250K app. When the app creator may only need 50K for marketing and branding. And say, well, I'll give you 3 to 4% due to how much this technology can generate by itself. I had a friend of mine that came to me, and he said, Bernard, I can get you an investor to give you $50 million, but they will most likely want 80%. There's nothing wrong with that. Only if we are empowering communities with technology, ownership, it goes against our objective. Now, we're not stupid, Reggie. So if the community isn't interested, then we're forced to take the resources at the end of the day, right? I mean, we got to eat. But I look at it like this, and I share with individuals. We are a technology creator firm, and we're simply providing technology ownership opportunities to organizations to assist in their operations, not their fundraising, not the fundraising, Brother Reggie. Operations, their daily operations. So now you have ownership of your own technology, just like we was talking earlier about the importance of owning your own technology. No one can take this away from you. And we're giving it to you at no investment other than your data. Why? Because we understand the power of data. They've been taking our data for free for so long. Now you have a company who's saying, I'm going to give you technology that will last a lifetime for you and your members. And there's unlimited things that you can do to where your members are so excited to be a part of this platform and do not mind paying a monthly small fee of $5.95 to $19 a month, knowing now that the resources is going back to who? Back to their company, back to their organizations, versus these other ones who's not giving us anything. So yes, it's similar to having your own YouTube, Instagram, but now you can monetize your own data. You control your own data, which means now we're able to desensitize the data that has made us all sensitive. Deactivate, reprogram, deprogram. Because they've been programming us for generations. The question becomes, who in their right carnal, you heard that word carnal, right, Reggie? Who in their right carnal mind would give away a platform value at $250K for free and not sell it to the highest bidder? And let's back that up. Let's back that question up with another question. Who would be ignorant, or some would use stupidity, enough to say no to technology ownership that has the potentials to bring in millions?
Wow, Brother Bernard. Outstanding. Okay, Brother Bernard, now I want to ask you, man, does this pertain to artists? What if a person was an artist? Let's say a brother or sister from the Divine Nine or Eastern Star Mason has a person they know that sings and great, and just for any artist, is this good for other artists?
Come on, Brother Reggie, you can throw a concert, right? I remember seeing Erykah Badu and Jill Scott live on Instagram, and they had over 1 million viewers, right?
Wow.
Well, who do you think was getting the money for that data? Not the artists. So this does not necessarily eliminate the promoters, but it definitely gives more control to the artists. Let's say they were using our platform and they charge $10, right, for an hour or two for their verses.
Right.
And 70 to 80% goes to the artist. 30% goes to the platform. You will see a lot of artists who are having these verses coming to our platforms. Now, what difference would it make if the artist now was knowledge on how this can best work for them? But if they don't know, they're going to continue to think that they have to tour. Of course, people like to have you the tour, but just imagine if you're able to do it just from your home using live streaming.
Powerful.
And despite the surge in streaming, top artists still make most of their money from touring. Why is that? I'll tell you why. Because you have music streaming companies like WMG. They posted over 1 billion. I mean, major label, right, posted over 1 billion. During the same period, you had Sony, who reported 1.2 billion. UMG alone earns 4.5 million a day from streaming. But how much of that goes towards the artist? It would be thrown off, right, for a business to say, how about this? You stream here, you get the profit.
Wow.
But as long as we continue to allow these entities to take control of our data and our resources, we're all working for crumbs.
Okay, Brother Bernard, now I want you to explain to the sisters and brothers how this compared to pay-per-view. Could you give us some information about that?
So think of it as Showtime boxing. Think of it as HBO boxing. It's a pay-per-view. You want to watch, you got to pay. Once you're able to pay, the artist are able to look on the back end and see how many members, how many users, how many viewers were watching. And then we just distribute the resources. It's that simple. But because they own all the pay-per-views, we're not even thinking from that technology perspective. But until we do, and until we say it's about the people, that's what it's going to be, yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, you are correct.
All right, Brother Bernard, man, we get ready to close it on out, man. It's been great and excellent to have you on the show to share with our brothers and sisters, to let them know what they got right here. You can't go wrong with it, brothers and sisters. And right now, I want to ask you, Brother Bernard, do you got any shout-outs for anybody?
I definitely want to give a shout-out to the Cherry family. Black Wall Street, Heart of Texas Technology Center, located on 1709 Martin Luther King Street. Virtual Branding Solution, Yale, and Active God Ministries, To Be a Champion Foundation, and other supporting organizations within our network, currently located in, Missouri, Illinois, Alabama, Georgia, Indiana, Oklahoma, Tennessee, and Florida. I want to do a shout out to Joseph Copeland, Dr. F.D. Guyton, Brother Rashid, House of the Lord Ministries with Pastor Flemings and Mrs. Flemings, and last but not certainly least, SOIA, which is a Stage 1 in Action, as well as Emerse Podcast with Maserati. And I got to do a shout out to the Harris Randall Salon. That's what my baby is. Hello, baby. Hello, baby. Hello, baby. Peace and many blessings.
All right, Brother Bernard. Now, I got one more question to ask you, brother. I want you to tell the whole world out there, what's the baddest station in the land and the station that pays?
Oh, without a doubt, the MC Reggie Fresh Morning Show.
And there y'all have it, folks. Coming to you from the Lone Star State. That's Brother Bernard Gregory Cherry was right here on the MC Reggie Fresh Morning Show.
But remember, brothers and sisters, you can still stand tall. Just be thankful.
This is the MC Reggie Fresh Morning Show. A station that pays.